Hi, this is Charlie at My Messy Fingers. Welcome back. We are continuing to work on the album featuring Graphic 45's The Beach is Calling. I got everything I need came to me from Scrap and Create, and that includes 12 by 12s, 8 by 8s, sticker sheets, the ephemera, the tags, everything. In addition, I got some of these little brass embellishments. It came in a cute, adorable little blue bag, and I will be using those trinkets throughout the build on the album. We've already done the outside, and we've already done the inside left panel. We are now going to move on to page 1. So I've pretty much have it all laid out and designed, and I've inked everything. I've taped what I need to tape. Hopefully it will enable the videos to go a little bit quicker. I also wanted to let you know, again, that I'm using Tim Holtz Distress Ink Faded Jeans to color the edges. I don't like white edges on anything. It looks unfinished to me. So what I've started here with on the front is, oh, and by the way, I'm using a 1/2 inch corner round to kind of soften it up a little bit. So I am using, this is a scrap piece that came off of an 8 by 8 that we previously cut. I'm going to use this as a frame where I'm going to tape down 2 of the edges, and then you can slide a photo in here for the front of this. This came out of the tags. Here is a sandal. I cut the tip, the round tip off where you thread through some string or whatever. And then in the ephemera, there are 2 of these, and I am going to accent the dark blue one. I'm going to try my best to center this one, and then everything else is going to kind of fall where it lies, and then that's going to go up here, up at the top. So that's what the front page is going to look like. And then on the opposing front page, I went to my scraps, and I cut this piece. I'll give you measurements for the cardstock here in a minute. And then I went to the rub-ons, and I rubbed on the bathing suits here up at the top. And then I went to the 12 by 12 and cut the back side of each one of these flaps. Went to my scraps and got this piece out, and I have cut to make a pocket that will go down here. And then out of the sticker pack, I cut these 3 postage stamped images, and we're going to put them right there. And then this piece here, again, came out of the scraps, and I used, once again, one of the rub-ons for here, and that will go there as a pocket. And then back to the 12 by 12 sheets, I cut these out as the front faces. This came out of the ephemera, and so did this. I mounted them on blue cardstock, and then I glued these 2 together. I'm going to tape them down here as a tuck. Also in the ephemera was this long shell piece collection, so I backed it again on cardstock, and I've taped it so that it goes across the bottom here. And then, once again, going to the 12 by 12, these are coming out of the patterns page set. I cut these 2. And then I took some of the cut aparts that we had cut out earlier off of an 8 by 8 piece of paper, and I'm going to make some tucks with those. And then here on the base page, I've made a slim pocket using a piece of scrap. I've gotten some seashells out of the ephemera pack. Then this strip from the sticker sheet, backed it on blue cardstock, and it's going to kind of lay like this. So the only thing I forgot to do, which I will do here real quick, is I do want to ink these so that they kind of stand off of the paper and matching paper, so that it allows them to stand out just a little bit more. So I'll get these inked up fairly quickly, and we'll get these put back on. Okay, so let's start with some measurements. I am cutting this base piece for a specific width. I'm going to come out here to just roughly the edge so that you can see it. I'll put something behind here. I'm coming out to this edge by just about 1/8 of an inch, and I'm leaving approximately 3/8 of an inch over here. The reason for that is that I do buildups on my sides, and by the time I'm done, I've built up to about 1/8 of an inch at least on each side. So I need some room to shift and put this in here so that when this folds, it is not folding on itself, because I don't want anything getting stuck in here and the page ends up doing this. So I will always be leaving some room up against the seam here. So that's why when I give you a measurement, it is not from here to here, but it will be approximately 3/8 of an inch out. So this base piece came from the 12 by 12 collection, and I cut that at 7.5 by 7 5/8. So that will be the base. I'm going to go ahead and start putting things in. I've already got it taped up. This was a piece of scrap, and I went to my scraps to get this piece. It is cut to 1 5/8 by the width. So it's going to sit here. It's going to go from corner to corner. And then from the scrap, I cut to fit this piece. Now, I have a different eye for how I want my margins to look than you do, so that's why I always say cut to fit on these paper. So let's go ahead and get started with putting things together, and I will give you the other measurements when we get there. Okay, just line it up with the corner, come across the bottom. We are secure. And then let's glue this in. Now I'm going to kind of just strategically place these in here. It's an odd looking clamshell. And then, like I said, this came out of the sticker sheet, and I backed it up on some blue cardstock so that it would stand out on its own. All right. Now you're going to have 2 flaps that are going to come next. Your left side is going to measure at 4 3/4, and you're going to score it at 1/2 and then you're going to put some tape on it. Your right side is going to measure at 4 3/4, and you're going to again score it at 1/2. So I'm going to go ahead I always get myself turned around when I'm trying to put these things on. I don't know why I do that to myself. All right, so I'm going to come right up to that scored edge, and I am attempting to put that on backwards. That was not going to work very well. It's kind of late in the afternoon. Maybe I need a cup of coffee. I'm trying to put that on backwards. What a silly girl. Okay, and then this piece, and again, I have rounded the corners with a 1/2 inch corner round so that it once again softens the appearance a little bit, so we don't just have a bunch of squared off corners. Now, okay, the gold beach hut 12 by 12s, you will cut to fit the 2 for the left and right side. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue these down. Then I was making some tucks here, so I'm going to glue these on. And then I'm going to just tape across the bottom. I'm going to put it in here just a little bit. Which way do I want to go? I think I'm going to go this way. At an angle so that way the picture, the photo comes in here like so. And then I will do the same over here. And again, a photo can come in here at that angle. All right, so now we're going to put on from our 12 by 12 pack, from the Patterns and Solids, we're going to glue these in place. Slide this in here. Okay, so I wanted to put these here so that they're photo tucks. I'm just going to slide this in here across the bottom. And then this one over here. Okay. Now, this side here, we can go ahead and put this panel down, but we're not putting this panel down because we need to set a magnet in there for the closure. So let me just, oh, and before I do that, I'm so sorry. This piece here is going to measure at 4 3/4, and you're going to score it at 1/2, and you're going to score it at 5/8. This little gusset here is going to help to absorb the buildup that we have right there. So I am going to go ahead and put this piece in because we don't have to worry about the magnet on that side. This is such joyful paper in its design and color and some of the patterns. And I'm going to take the tape off. Now when you put this on, I want you to come up to the 1/2 inch score line because I want that gusset up front as much as possible with it standing up. So if we push back on that gusset, you will see that it helps to absorb what we've already built and put on there. And I like to always rescore the gussets to make sure that they understand their role in the big scheme of things. And then this piece is going to go here, but only after we place the magnet. So to do that, we need to add this piece on so that we can add the magnet, fold it over, and let it set up. So this piece here measures at 6 5/8. And again, you're going to score it at 1/2 and at 5/8. I'm sorry. I've got something else going on in my brain here. 1/2 and then at 5/8. And remember, you're always measuring to the height of your signature. So I'm not providing that measurement because that should be a given. So I want to get this in here, same process, get this lined up, and then we're going to fold over this 1/2 inch flap, and then it's important here that you push back on that gusset to reinforce it, and then I want you to make sure that both of your gussets are standing up straight when we do this. We're going to slip in this magnet, and I'm going to come in just about 1 inch, give or take. Take this off. Now make sure that everything is level, that you're not cockeyed, and then press. Give it a little slide and they'll separate. Now I can add this piece in, and I'm going to tape it in because I want access to that magnet if I ever need to. Now, where did I put my 1/2 inch roll of tape? Huh, it took a walkabout. Oh, for Pete's sake. It's 3/8. I guess. Oh, there it is. Hiding under a larger roll. So let me just do some tidying up here. Okay. And before I lose this, I want to get this added in here. Oh, I didn't tape it. Do some cleanup here. Got some tape that's hanging out over the edges. So I want to line this up, and then it will drop right in front of that score mark. And we'll go ahead and tape this, or glue this, I should say. Now, on the rub-ons, you can use whatever sentiment you want, or you can use the one I used. Okay. Now let's go ahead. I'm gonna tape this because I have this larger piece and I don't want to glue it, plus I have a magnet. So bear with me while I tape this piece up. And then one down the center so that it stays up against the cardstock. I have some trimming I need to do here. And when just as a reminder, don't cover your score marks. When you lay your paper, make sure you're just in front of it. Now we'll put on this pocket. Trim. And once again, I'm going to start at my edge and come in. Glue this piece in place. And then I had the 3 postage stamps that I used as a cluster. Put them in any direction you want, but thought about doing it that way, but then it was covering up the 3, so I'm going to leave it the way I had it. Just a different angle. There we go. Okay, nice magnet. Now this is the front piece. This came out of the 8x8 packet. I wanted the smaller wavy look on the front of this. So this piece came out of the 8x8, and again I cut it to fit. This side I can go ahead and glue. And I think it's going to be easier if I build up from the bottom. This is not a pocket, it's just a decorative piece. So I am just simply gluing it in place. And then this is cut to fit right in here across the bottom. And again, this was a part of a 8x8 that we cut into earlier. So I'd like to use those scraps. Now, this is going to be our picture frame, and then you have these 2 ephemera pieces, and I wanted to kind of accent back each one. Now, I'm gonna try. I don't know how successful I'm gonna be, but I'm gonna try to shorten up the glue where they glue together so that they stand up. What I think I might do is put on a little pop-up here. I'm going to glue this and this. I kind of wanted this to stand up a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Pull that down. All right, now this piece, I'm just going to glue right straight across the top, but I'm going to center this one with this one here in the middle. There we go. Now they look like they're kind of waving maybe a little bit. I'm going to tape this edge and this edge because I want someone to be able to come in here with a photo. I'm using 3/8 inch tape because it's just about how wide this chipboard piece is. Whoops. It had a piece of something black on it, and I go to rip it off, and I tear some of the tape off. Okay. So I'm going to center this in here. And then see, you can come in behind here and slide in a photo. And by not fully tacking this down, it allows for that as well, a lot easier. Okay, now from your chipboard pieces, I took this and put a little bit of a string on it so that there was a little bit of action going on down here. Put it in there at an angle. And then we're going to use the glossy accents to adhere this. Now I did come in here and use some snippers and snipped off that round ring. I try to do that on a lot of the brass elements because I just don't want to see the ring if I'm not using it for any purpose. Okay. Oh, get that off of there real quick. Darn you, fingers. What can I say? Holy cow. Okay, this is where I want it to go, so I'm just going to get it down there real quick before I drop it again. Clean up this glue a little bit. Okay. So this is the front, a little bit of a pop-up behind there, kind of shorten that up just a little bit so it gives it some height. And not tacking these down gives it just an opportunity for it to look like it's kind of waving maybe. Tack down only this side here so you can slide a photo in here. This is not a pocket, we tacked that down. Here we have a pocket. On this page we have a pocket. We have a couple of tucks here. We have a tuck and we have a small pocket. All right, so now let's turn it over and we're going to add our tape. So that we can get it in the album. This has got a little bit of thickness to it, which means we've got some weight. And we are going to run some tape down the center to help support the tape on the framework. This on real quick before that glue dries in there. So let's grab our book. And this is going to go in here right up next to the page edge. And I don't know if you can see here in the light that we have just about 1/4 of an inch left, and that's going to allow this page to turn over and not just stick up in the air. So I'm going to turn it this way though so that I can see how I'm lining up top to bottom. Give it a press. burnish that. And now we'll take the rest of the tape off. And I've said it in other videos, if you use the hidden hinge method, or actually any other method, you need to make sure that you are allowing room for the page buildups. So you may need to adjust your gussets. There's nothing wrong with those methods. You just need to, like I said, make adjustments for it. Okay. We are done with that signature build. We will come back on the next one. We will move on to build number 2, and I'll see you then.